Hey guys, I decided since I have my makeup stuff here with me today and I haven't done my eyebrows or eyelashes yet, that I would show you what I do on a daily basis, just going out of the house, since I literally have none at all. I have no eyebrow hairs and no eyelash hairs at all. So I'm gonna do one side, just so you guys can kind of see the difference that it makes. And just real quickly, just show you what I use and what I do. I am using the phone instead of a mirror. So just bear with me if it looks weird or if I look weird while I'm doing this. I'm gonna just try to talk you guys through what I like to do to get something going on that looks more realistic. Now, I know a lot of people would use like the magnetic lashes to make their lashes look more realistic, and I'll do that if I want to deal with it. But personally, I can like feel a difference, when they're stuck there, and it's uncomfortable to have something kind of heavy and fake, and there's not even really any other eyelashes to like blend it with. So at this point in the game, I just don't use them. I just sort of create an illusion that there's something there, and from far away, I hope people can't tell too much. I've had a lot of people tell me they can't tell. So let's get started. I start with my eyebrows. I like to use a brush like this one here. I'm gonna put it up close. Hopefully it can focus. So it's a really thin angled brush. And I actually bought this kit here a little while ago, and they are eyebrow stamps. I hate them as far as eyebrows. They don't look realistic. They're not really my eyebrow shape. And I put them on one day and showed my husband, and he was like dying laughing. So that's not really the shape I'm going for, but because I bought it, I really like using the powder that it comes with. So I just use the powder. It's very close to the color of the way my eyebrows were before. So whatever color you guys want, just find a powder that matches that. Before I had this, I was just using the darkest color on my eyeshadow palette. So I'm pretty sure just whatever works for you. It doesn't have to be a specific type of powder. I just wouldn't go with anything shimmery, something very matte. So the first thing I do is get a little bit of it on the tip of my brush, and I start to make my shape. I kind of do like this at first, and it's not going to look the way you want it to look while you're applying it. You kind of do that after. So I come in underneath each one and feather a little bit more. You can see my technique so that it kind of looks like real hairs. And I just feather it all the way to the end of where I want it to be. Then I kind of take my brush and blend a little bit so that my lines are not as sharp and it's more eyebrow looking. And then that is pretty much it for my eyebrow. And sometimes I'll go over just with my pinky, or sometimes I'll use, I don't have it with me with the stuff right now, but with my sponge and just dab over it if it looks too defined. But we're gonna stick with that for now. What I do next is my eyeliner. I have two different ones. I have a liquid. So any like thin liquid will do. I have Maybelline here with me, but I like that it's a very fine point tip. And then I also have this one that's more kind of cakey for the bottom. So I use the fine tip on the top because I'm trying to define something like a line that's really just not even there. It's a little easier to do on the top. And then this one's just better for the bottom because the bottom is where it tends to run more for me, and that just holds better and is easier to apply. So I'm gonna try to, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this, like without a mirror. So I start really carefully right here. Try not to blink while you're putting it on. And then just kind of make your outline. So, sorry, I'm not talking while I'm doing it, because if I do, it will smear. Make your outline and then fill that in. Okay, so that's pretty close to what I usually do. Then I take the other one for the bottom. Okay, all right, so now I have an eyebrow and I have sort of a defined lid. Obviously you can already see that this eye, if I kind of cover it up, looks more open and bright, more normal, whereas this one, I obviously have cancer. So the next part that I like to do, I love this. I don't know, I got this in, I know I've mentioned in my other videos about my FabFitFun box. So I did get this in a FabFitFun box once, and I've bought it again a couple of times. I think it's called Trestique. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. But they make brow pencils. They also made this, the eyeliner that I just used, but I just love this one because it's a really pretty glimmery, shimmery, I don't know how well you can see it, kind of gold color. And that's kind of the color palette I like to stay in. So I always just put a little bit of that, just kind of right there in the corner. And then I go really lightly along the bottom. And I'm gonna go along the bottom again with some shadow over top of that, but it kind of helps that shadow stick a little better. So then the next part I do is the shadow. That kind of, this part to me brings it all together. So I got this in a FabFitFun box too. I use Proof is in the Pudding. It's my favorite palette, but I'm the girl who likes to stay kind of in this range. I have other palettes, but this is my #1 favorite. So I always start with my darkest one here called Almond Jelly. It's a little bit glimmery and kind of orangey. And I put that here on my lid and then just kind of bring up across the outside here to kind of create that smoky illusion. And then I go back in the middle here with like a middle color, which is more gold. And I do my crease with that. Okay, and then I go in with a light shimmery color here. If you guys can see, it's a little bit lighter than that middle color. And then I just kind of up under my fake eyebrow here to make a shimmer. Blend it in a little bit. And then the last step is I take a really, really teeny tiny kind of, it's a very stiff brush. Really good for drawing on little tiny lines. And I grab a little bit more of that same dark color that I started with, and then I just go along the bottom over top of that gold shimmer we did to kind of tie it all together. Just barely a little bit, and just dab it. You don't need a lot, but it really brings the eye to life. And that's where I stop. So if you wanted to go further, one step further would just be like putting on those magnetic lashes. And I do have them and they're great. And one of the things, if you are gonna do that, I would still use this or something like this first to kind of define where you want your liner. And then just put your magnetic liner directly on over top of what you've done on your top lid and stick your lashes to that. But I'm gonna stop here. This is kind of where I like to end it because I just don't like the feeling of those lashes. But obviously you can see a very big difference between this and this. And then whenever I get my hair on, you really can't tell, especially from far away. But that is a tutorial for you guys of what I do anyway to get your look whenever you are going through chemo. So I'm gonna sign off here. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe to support my channel. Thanks. Bye guys.